If you lived during the 90s, you'd probably remember the unhealthy amount of concept cars that came out back then. But if you had paid strong attention, you would have noticed this one concept car made by Dodge that never hit production. The Viper was now famous among Dodge enthusiasts for being powerful, dangerous, and for bringing a new type of design to the American public. But what if I told you that Dodge planned to go even further and make something even better than the Viper? This is the American car that could have changed the roadster world, but got cancelled by a foreign car maker. In the late 90s, the Viper became a success in no time. Dozens of thousands of them were sold in the United States, and Dodge had once again something to be proud of. But they had realised quite early that there was a little flaw with the Viper. Knowing that they had hyped up a huge amount of enthusiasts by releasing the Viper, they should expect to sell more than just 10,000 of them. They came to the conclusion that the price of a Viper was too high, sitting at around $60,000. But more importantly, they now had everything needed to make a cheaper model of the Viper. This is when the Dodge Copperhead made its appearance. Back in '93, Dodge had started the Copperhead as a vague concept idea that wasn't supposed to hit production. But once they realised it could come in clutch, they put much more effort into it. It had pretty much the same look as the Viper, but this time with a hood as long as the rear, in order to make it handle as good as an MX-5. Under the hood was sitting a 2.7 litres dual camshaft V6, the same engine used by the Dodge Intrepid. Right next to this V6 was installed a 5-speed gearbox that could make the car reach speeds around 135 miles an hour. And finally, the control arms of the Copperhead had to perform as smooth as possible, so Dodge decided to use the same control arms that were used on the Sebring. And that said, the ideal track car with a Dodge badge was finally completed in 1997 and was presented at the Detroit Auto Show. But that's when everything went south. If you don't want to miss out on anything cars, make sure to subscribe. Back in '97, Dodge was owned by Chrysler, and exactly 1 year later in '98, Chrysler merged with a German group by the name of Daimler, which was best known for running Mercedes. But right before the merger, Mercedes did exactly what Dodge had done with the Copperhead. They had built the SLK, a roadster that was capable of great handling, exactly like the Copperhead. But there was a slight detail that created a huge difference between the SLK and the Copperhead. This detail wasn't in the stats of both cars, but in the timing. When the Copperhead was still being designed, the SLK had already been marketed and its production had already started. Basically, all of the big work on the SLK was already done. When the merger happened, the goal was, as the name suggests, to unify the factories, the labs, and even the management. But here was the deal. Both companies announced that it was a merger, with both sides showing their agreement. But behind the scenes, Daimler was the one that took over Chrysler, which meant that Daimler's management would have the word on every matter regarding both companies. They chose to keep the Mercedes factories and drop Chrysler's. That said, only one of the two roadsters would be kept, and since all the odds were on the SLK side, they dropped the Copperhead forever. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss anything cars and business.